Hello, friends! Behind every royal guard's stern expression lies a heart full of warmth, patience, and quiet kindness. Today we bring you unforgettable moments that prove these guards are more than just soldiers. Standing watch, they're humans with hearts of gold. Stay until the end, because these stories will touch you deeply. A young boy in a wheelchair had been waiting all morning to see the king's guard up close. His mother gently pushed him forward, but he suddenly felt shy and looked down. The guard noticed and slowly turned his horse toward the boy, giving him a clear view. The boy's face lit up instantly. His mother snapped a photo, and before leaving, the boy waved at the guard. The guard gave a small nod in return, and the family walked away smiling. The boy talking excitedly the whole way to the car. An elderly veteran stood quietly at the barricade, holding an old black and white photo of himself in uniform decades ago. When the guard noticed the photo, he paused his march and looked closely. Recognizing the old regiment badge, he stood at attention and offered a full salute. The veteran's eyes filled with tears. A young cadet nearby captured the moment on camera. The veteran thanked the guard softly before being helped away by his grandson, clutching the photo close to his chest the entire time during a scorching afternoon. One of the horses began shifting uncomfortably, pawing at the ground. The mounted guard immediately alerted a nearby officer. Water was brought quickly, and the horse was gently walked to shade. A junior guard fanned the horse with his hat while they waited for the vet. Within minutes, the horse calmed down, nuzzling the guard's shoulder in what looked like gratitude. The guard smiled with relief and patted the horse's neck, staying by its side until he was certain it was completely comfortable again. A little girl, dressed as a tiny guard herself with a paper hat and wooden sword, marched proudly toward the barricade. The real guard noticed and, without breaking his composed posture, gave her a subtle wink. The girl gasped with excitement and ran back to her father, telling him what happened. Her father laughed and thanked the guard from a distance. The girl kept looking back the entire way home, waving one last time before turning the corner. A woman using a walker slowly approached for a photo, apologizing for taking so long. The guard remained perfectly patient, waiting until she was comfortably positioned. When she finally smiled for the picture, the horse gently lowered its head beside her, as if posing too. She laughed with joy and thanked both the guard and the horse before slowly making her way back, telling everyone nearby how special the moment had been for her. Two guards marching in perfect formation suddenly noticed a lost toddler wandering near the restricted line, no parent in sight. Without breaking formation entirely, one guard signaled to a nearby officer while keeping a gentle eye on the child. Within a minute, a panicked mother arrived, scanning the crowd. The officer guided her straight to her child. She burst into tears of relief, hugging her son tightly, and mouthed a heartfelt thank you to the guards before carrying him away. Still shaking from the scare, a young man proposed to his girlfriend right in front of the king's guard, catching everyone off guard, including the horse, which shifted slightly. The woman said yes, crying happily. The mounted guard, staying fully in character, gave a slow, respectful nod toward the couple, and the small crowd around them broke into applause. The couple thanked the guard before walking off, hand in hand, still glowing with excitement, already planning how they'd tell the story for years to come, while standing motionless during a long ceremonial duty. One guard noticed a bird had landed calmly on his shoulder. He didn't flinch, didn't move a muscle, staying perfectly composed despite the ticklish feeling. The crowd around him began quietly laughing and taking photos. Even his fellow guard beside him struggled not to smile. After a few moments, the bird flew off on its own, and the guard finally allowed himself a small, relieved smile. Glancing sideways at his still grinning colleague, an old couple celebrating their 50th anniversary asked if they could take a photo together with the guard. Touched by the occasion, the guard allowed a slightly longer pause than usual. The husband gently kissed his wife's hand as the photo was taken. Passers-by nearby began clapping softly. The couple thanked the guard warmly, saying it was the perfect way to mark such a special day, then walked off arm in arm, the wife resting her head on her husband's shoulder near the end of a long, tiring shift. A fellow soldier arrived carrying a small cake with a candle. It was the guard's birthday. Though he couldn't leave his post, His friend held the cake close enough for him to blow out the candle without breaking form. A few tourists nearby cheered and clapped, delighted to witness the surprise. The guard's eyes crinkled with a hidden smile as his friend walked away. Promising a proper celebration later that evening, a nervous young boy with autism had been struggling to stay calm in the crowded square, covering his ears from the noise. His father worried the visit was becoming too much. The guard noticed the boy's distress and slowly, gently, guided his horse a few steps back, creating quiet space around them. The boy's breathing slowed. He looked up at the horse's calm eyes and, for the first time that day, smiled. His father mouthed a silent thank you, visibly moved, and stayed a while longer just watching his son finally relax. A group of school children on a field trip lined up eagerly to see the horses, each one more excited than the last. One small boy at the back of the line looked worried he wouldn't get close enough before time ran out. Noticing this, the guard quietly asked his teacher to bring him forward first. The boy's eyes went wide with joy as he got to touch the horse before anyone else. His classmates cheered for him, and he beamed with pride the rest of the day, telling everyone on the bus ride back what had happened as the final guard of the evening prepared to end his post. A stray cat wandered curiously into the courtyard, weaving between the horse's legs without fear. Instead of shooing it away, the guard and his horse stood perfectly still, letting the cat explore in peace. Visitors nearby watched in delighted silence, phones raised, capturing the unlikely friendship. When the cat finally wandered off into the evening light, the guard allowed himself a quiet, amused smile before finally standing down for the day. A single father brought his twin daughters to see the guards for the first time, both girls clutching identical teddy bears dressed in tiny guard uniforms. When the guard noticed the matching bears, he gave each girl a formal little bow of his head. The twins burst into giggles, hiding shyly behind their father's legs before peeking back out for one more look. Their father snapped photo after photo, unable to stop smiling himself. Before leaving, both girls waved their teddy bears at the guard, who gave one final nod in return. An emergency call came through that a young visitor had fainted in the heat near the barricade. The nearest guard immediately signaled for medical assistance, while a colleague rushed to shield the visitor from the sun with his own body. Within moments, paramedics arrived and began treatment. The guards stayed close, quietly making sure the crowd gave the young man space to breathe. Once he regained consciousness and was safely taken for further care, the guards resumed their positions, having never left their sense of duty even for a moment. A blind elderly man was guided toward the horse by his caretaker, who explained softly what he was about to feel. The guard patiently waited, allowing extra time for the man to reach out and gently touch the horse's mane. A wide, peaceful smile spread across his face as he felt the horse's warmth beneath his fingers. He thanked the guard in a quiet voice, saying he could finally picture what everyone had described to him. The caretaker gently led him away, both of them smiling the whole way back.